Well, there it is. I've been meaning to do this for a while, but I keep changing things around. So every time I go to film it, it ends up something different. But this is a walk around of the bike. Part in the dirt. The bugs. Been riding. I do actually ride it as much as possible. I think the best place to begin is from the beginning. We'll start with the front, work our way back. Kenda tires on it, just kind of seeing what cheaper tires do, how they hold up. They wear pretty well. It's not too terrible. Pretty decent for the money. EBC brake pads in the front. Got a new aftermarket speedometer cable, speed sensor cable, whatever you want to call it. I've broken two, so yeah. LED turn signals, front and rear. These are held on with some metal strap just because I'm cheap. Overall goal of this bike was see how cheap I can build something that looks crazy and weird. It seems to have worked, I guess. LED headlight, stock gauge, and everything. I got about 40,000 on this thing. Tri-oval mirrors, because those square ones look ugly. 24-inch, I think they're 24-inch drag bar here. Stock controls. Cell phone mount, which this thing holds up pretty good. It's got a cable here so I can charge. It's got a little USB port there, but I never use that, so I don't have it plugged into anything. Harley Davidson risers that I got for free. I had to cut the clamp in half because, you know, it wouldn't fit. Stock gas tank. Everything's pretty much stock. You can see damage from when I got hit by that car. This is a Harley peg because it broke the peg when I went down. Like I said, turn signals on the rear. It's a lollipop type trailer light for the tail and brake light. This is a piece of aluminum that I cut to make a license plate frame. Sorry, a license plate mount. And it also holds the tail light there. Took the chain guard off. As you can see, I took the fender and the rear seat support off. This is a stock seat on it. These straight pipes were here when I bought the bike. Took the plastic covers off for the battery. Replaced it with an old license plate that came off of one of my cars back in the day. It's got a wing nut here so I can get to the fuse panel and everything there. The most expensive thing that I've put on this, besides the tires, is a K&N air filter. Just because they're like $20 for a paper filter, or it was like $60 for the K&N, so I could replace it and then just clean it rather than replace it every year and spend $20 a year on it. It's a 2002 Honda Shadow VLX, which is a 600 Deluxe. The Deluxe just means that it came with a bunch of chrome stuff. I took as much of the chrome off as I could. It had covers, little chrome covers there. Chrome cover on this thing. It was just chrome everywhere. I didn't like it being so shiny, so took all that off. As you can see, the speedometer goes up to 105 and it'll reach 100 sometimes. It's not the fastest bike in the world, but I don't really want it to be. It's fun to ride, and that's all that matters, really. Biggest improvement I've made on this. Turn it this way here. Straighten that up some. Biggest improvement I've made on this as far as rideability goes. Oh, Jesus. I think the headlight. Turn it on for you. You see how bright that is? And there's the high beam, which doesn't look like it does a whole lot, but it really does make a pretty good difference. There's the tail light, brake, turn signals. They flash fast, but that's because it's a bunch of LEDs. So, you know, there's that. But the big thing that I did was I took probably about 45 pounds of crap off of this thing. Most of it's in the rear with the fender support that would stick out to about there. Then it had these big strips of steel, these hard, heavy, thick pieces of steel to hold the tail lights or turn signals. Had these big, thick chrome pieces of steel to hold the turn signals on. They just weighed a ton, and that's all they did was hold the turn signals on. And that's pretty much it for anyone that's got questions on what I ride or what it looks like or what I have done to it. The most work for the least money was the point, and I think it worked out pretty well. But this thing's gone through a dozen or more iterations in the past couple of years since I've owned it. But that's my 2002 Shadow VLX 600 CD. There's too many letters in this thing. It's a Honda Shadow VT 600 CD, which is a Honda Shadow 600 VLX Deluxe, whatever. But there it is.